Good morning, students. So today we are going to see the continuation of the operating system experiment. Today we are going to see the experiment number 4. So in this, we are going to develop a program to introduce 2D array manipulation and implement matrix multiplication to ensure the rules of multiplication are checked. Okay. So in this, first we are going to see the procedure of input m star n and p star q, size of two matrices elements to compute matrix multiplication. So first, we are going to get the input of two matrices for performing multiplication. And next one is the expected output, performs multiplication of given matrices and give us the results. Okay. So here we are going to perform the multiplication operation and that would be our expected result. Let's get into the algorithm. So the first algorithm is we are going to start the algorithm and next we are going to read the element for matrix A and step 3 is reading the element of matrix B and step 4 is going to check the compatibility. So whether the input that we have fetched is compatible for matrix multiplication or not. So that will be checked. So previously it would be checked means it won't be a problem for further progress of the program. So first n is not equal to p. So it will be not equal to p means so it will be simply printing the matrix multiplication not possible and it will be winding up the program. If it is not means so everything is perfect means so it will go for further progress of the program. And step 5 we are going to read the element of matrix A and in step 6 we are going to read the elements of matrix B and in step 7 we are going to display the elements of matrix A. So this 6 and step 7 are used to read the elements of matrix B and A. Okay. And next one is step 7. So in this step 7, we are going to identify the display elements of matrix A. So here we are going to repeat the step 7 for I is equal to 0 to p minus 1. Repeat for j is equal to 0 to q minus 1 and print a of I and a of j. So step 8 is display the elements of matrix B. And repeat through step 8 for I is equal to 0 to p minus 1. So repeat for j is equal to 0 to q minus 1. So these are all the operations for step 8. So step 9 is used to calculate the product of given two matrices and we are going to repeat through step 9 for I is equal to 0 to m minus 1. And next we are going to repeat j is equal to 0 to q minus 1 and c of I and j is equal to 0. So repeat for k is equal to 0 to n minus 1. And next one is step 10. So we are going to print the resultant matrix. So repeat step 10 for I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. And we need to repeat for j is equal to 0 to n minus 1 and print c of ij. And next in step 11, we are going to terminate the algorithm. Okay, so here we are going to stop the algorithm. This is the flow chart. Okay, this is a flow chart for the particular program. So in this program, we are going to identify the functions such as a hash include stdio.h and we are going to make the first function as void get matrix element. So here the matrix element is 10 in int row and int column. So here we are going to print the elements. So here we are given the two for loops. One is for I is equal to 0 and I is less than row and plus 1 I. Okay, so these are all the implementation operations and for loop is also given for int j is equal to 0 and j is less than column plus j. This implementation operation is also been used. And next we are going to print the element that is I plus 1 and j plus 1. And the scanf is a percentage of d and matrix is equal to 1 and j. And next we are going to see the function to multiplication of two numbers, two matrices. So void multiply matrices that is int first of 10 and int second of 10, int result of 10. So int ris, int c1 and int r2 and c2. These are all the values of function to multiply two matrices are being identified. Our next one is initializing elements of matrix multiplication to 0. That is for int I is equal to 0 and I is equal to greater than or 1 plus I. Okay. The next one is for int j is equal to 0 and I is less than c2. Okay, I is less than R1 and j is less than C2 plus j. And result of ij is equal to 0. And next we are going to multiply the first and second matrices and storing it in the result. Okay. So here the for loop I int j I is equal to 0 and int I is less than R1 and plus I. Okay. These are all the elements that is being given. So here the multiplication. So the element from the step 1 is being incremented to the step 2 and the implementation is being happened at that side and again it will be go for the step 7 and finally the element will be printed at the result stage. So here for int k is equal to 0, k is less than c1 and plus k. Okay, these are the element is being given. And next one is the result of ij is equal to first ik and second of kj. Okay, these are all the elements for the matrix multiplication. And next one is a function to display the matrix. So void here we are going to use a void display, that is int result, int row, and int column. Okay, and next we are going to identify the output matrices. So the output matrices are of int I is equal to 0 and I is greater than I is less than of row and this plus I. This implementation has also been followed in the step 7 and the step 7 is also incremented and again it will be going to the loop of print f. So this is identified as the output matrix value. And next we are going for the int main functions. So int main functions, we are going to include the second process of results and the R1, R2 and C2. So these are all the elements of rows and columns of the first matrix. And next one is the scanf. We are going to scan the rows and columns. And next also we are going to scan the rows and columns. And taking input until first matrix columns is not equal to second matrix row. And while this error message is also been identified, if the C1 is not equal to auto means error, enter rows and columns again. Okay, we need to enter the rows and columns again and enter the rows and columns for the first matrix. Okay, so these are all the elements that is been given. Next one is the scanf. This percentage D is for R1 and C1. And printf is enter rows and columns for the second matrix. Okay, these are all the elements of the rows and columns of the matrix. Next one is scanf. In scanf, we are going to identify the R2 and the C2. Okay, so get elements of the first matrix. Get matrix elements of the first R1 and the C1. Get elements of the second matrix, that is get matrix elements second R2 and the C2. So these are all will be identified and finally the result will be displayed in the program. Okay. So here next we are going to look the output of the program. Output of the program. So first we are going to run the program. After running the program, it will be asking the rows and columns for the first matrix. So here you will be typing 2, 1. It is asking for elements. That is element of A11 and A21. I'm entering the value of 4. And finally, we'll be getting the value of 1616 is the resultant output matrix of the program. So here, finally, you will be getting the output of the 2D array multiplication. So initially, we are going to fetch the input of two arrays for 2D array. And we are going to perform some for loop operation in that some implementation is being happened. It will be fetching the value from the step 7 to step 8 and it will be incrementing and finally it will be giving the resultant matrix of the 2D array multiplication. This is the output of the multiplication program.